Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to stage two. So this is section two of the webinar. So, Mr. Kachuku, please you can share your slide. You can present. Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just give me a moment. Let me bring up the slide.
Okay.
Been a fruitful presentation so far. I've been enjoying the presentation of the rest of the team. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do justice to mine as well.
I hope so.
1 minute, please.
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, let me know when you can see my screen, please.
We can see your screen.
It's coming up.
Okay.
Can you confirm now?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes, it's up.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, everyone. My name is Akachukwu Nyegantukoku. I'm a software developer. I'm a solution architect. I'm also DevOps specialist. So today I'll be discussing with us about analytics in use, the use of analytics in building game or game development.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, there's an echo, kind of. I'm not sure if I'm the only one getting that.
1 minute, please. Where's echo coming from? Can you confirm where it's coming from? Is it happening to everyone?
No, you are good.
No, it's
Can
not
you
happening to me.
Yeah, good though. It's not happening yet.
Can you check if your YouTube is if you're online on YouTube? I think we are recording on YouTube, so maybe you can mute that.
Okay, this for the person experiencing this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the person can check. All right, so analytics used in game development is our topic today. What is analytics? Gathering of information. It could be data, it could be metrics, it could be ideas, digitally or electronically. Today, we all know that data, they say, is now the new oil. Almost every business today, career, industry requires information gathering to be able to improve on their day-to-day activities, improve bottom line in this case, improve the revenue, improve the productivity, and also improve in customer satisfaction. So most times, this data that is being gathered is presented in a way that can easily be interpreted. Could be graphically, could be in a tabular form. All these are what we call analytics. You get this information, you analyze them, you process them, present them in a way that can easily be interpreted and can also easily be put to use in wherever area you want to apply it. Now, in game development, you use analytics to be able to gather the pattern or thoughts or thinking pattern of gamers. Gamers are people that play this game. So it's not just enough for you to build games, publish games, or deploy or upload games. People need to play your game, download this game, and play them before your task is actually accomplished. So if you build game, deploy it, and nobody's playing it, you actually have not achieved anything. So you need to be able to gather how your players interact, use this game that you are building, their thinking pattern, the way they react to the objects that you put in the game, the way they use the controls, the environment that you put in place. So gathering this data will help you to improve, in your game. Games today will have games, and game are being released in versions. This shows that latest version has some level of improvement than the previous version. And you cannot improve on something that you don't know about. You cannot improve on nothing. You improve on something when you know that the previous or the current one is not meeting the need. Then you add to improve on it. So today's game are made not only to keep the players busy or to keep them interested in playing the game. Rather, it's also built to connect with their ideas, their thoughts, and their feeling. So it's not just about entertaining your players, right? Today's game, the game that we have today, also has some bit of connection to the mindset of your players, the way they think, their thinking pattern, and the way they feel, right? Game that we build today is help to create a dream world or artificial environment for the gamers and give them control to be able to manage or even dictate what happened in the virtual environment. So most of the game that exists today help or enables the gamers to create their own world. Could be football tournaments. In ideal world, we have World Cup happening every 4 years, right? But with the advance of game today, a group of people can come together and create their own World Cup tournament, right? And they will play it as if they're playing World Cup. So he's enabling them to build their own artificial environment or world, right? And most of this have been made possible by data and analytics. Anatomy of a gamer is a study that tries to figure out how gamers interact with it. This in turn will let creator to improve or add or release versions that make the game more interesting and will keep the gamer to come back. So these are the roles that analytics play in game development. For gathering some of this information will help the developers or builders to be able to build better games. All right. Also, analytics is also used to determine your target audience. It's very difficult to build a game that appeals to everyone. So for your game to actually sell, a game needs to be targeted towards a particular set of people. It It can be again for children, for adults, for educated, for sports, for different kind of. So understanding your target audience will help you to improve or build better games. And you cannot understand your target audience without the use of data analytics. So even if you want everyone to play your game as a creator, there's always a need to create a certain game for a group of people who enjoy your game. Most people who makes shareware and paid game want to make game for such a small group of people, improve on it, make it better so that the people buying those games can actually pay and enjoy the game, because they can get the best RPU, average revenue per user, by always adding new version, making the game better and making it more fun. Big animation firm, media company, and game production house hires and pay game developers. So this kind of information help them to argue that they need more money to make more high-end games, right? People invest a lot in game development, and they also make money in return by shipping these games. So for them to make money, they must be able to carve or target a particular audience, ship those games to them, get them to pay for it, get them to download it, make a lot of like the first person that presented, a lot of views, download, all those information will help them to actually make a strong case to to companies to advertise on the platform or on the game. People make money in game development through advertisements. If you have a lot of people that is downloading your game, you can actually pick the data, can download those data, prepare them, and take them to companies to advertise on those games, and you make money from it. It's also proven today that great games are a game that is built or targeted towards storytelling, right? If we look at some great games today, most of them are like adventurous games, telling stories, or you can use it to even build scenarios. So some of this data, some of these facts were made available or possible because of data that has been gathered so far. Understanding the interest of your players, what they click on, the kind of site they view, the kind of thing they interact with, right, will help you to know the exact story that will appeal to them more. Then you can build a game around it. Can be a game around, can be about sports, can be about Olympics and the rest of them. So building a game that is that tends towards telling stories sells more, and continuous improving on it will make the game more fun to your players. And companies are really making a lot of money from games. In fact, game today is already taking a large portion of space in entertainment industry, in TVs or movie, right? A lot of things that are now being built around game, can be console and all that. PS today, you can watch movie or a PS station. You have a PS console, you can do a lot of things. So people are really investing in game development today because there's a lot of money in building games. So in conclusion, games are quickly replacing TV as the go-to way to have a fun. Before now is watching TV and all that is way of having fun, but now game is quick replacing that, absorbing time in many countries, and technology is also getting better with the means of more and more advanced insight and real-time user data are being added. This include AR, VR games, and 3D games. So with the improvement we have in technology today, people were able to build better games, a game that is actually simulate real life scenario. You see human being or you see the image in game, they look so real, 3D, virtual reality and all that makes you to even be part of the game, right? With VR, it gives you this impression that you are in that environment, virtual environment that you have created, and this is what makes game to sell more today. So analytics is very good, very important in game development. It helps the developers, builders to build better games, gather information, metrics that helps them to improve and release more version to the players. Thank you so much. Hope I've been able to pass few information regarding this topic. Thank you. Time for questions.
Okay, I think it's time for questions so far. This is a nice presentation about the history of games, analytics, what's analysis used for. I'm looking for someone that will just do some typing. I'll just say, okay, maybe you have to read this raised to power this, as we always do in our secondary school when they were teaching us what's calculus, what is indices, all those things. I was thinking of maybe I'll see something like that in maybe what's algebra, in those analytics of making games. So that's why this is a good experience for most of us like us that we don't know the idea about developing games. So we can just learn from you and we can pick it up from there. So I'll give it to the last speaker, which is Mr. Adekunle Aderigbigbe. So you can speak.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just.
So you're not audible, very audible.
Hello, can you hear me now?
You're not very audible.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, very well.
Oh,
Very
okay,
well.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Adekunle Aderigbigbe. I'm a DevOps engineer. So today I'll be talking about analytics of game development. So over years, there is a way people have been collecting data or getting a feedback from users with regards to their product. So the area that people don't normally have, normally have difficulties in getting a kind of feedback is
Show bigger slide.
kind of game development. And recently, that has been cut shorting with the help of, there are different platforms, Play Store and the likes, where people give a kind of recommendation, their feedback and the likes. So, but having given these big feedbacks, so how does it really help the developers or the developers of the game or the owner of the game? So today, this is what I'm going to be talking about: the introduction, the methods of which we can do the analytics, the key important questions to ask, when it comes to analytics of your games, then the recommendations, then questions. So yeah, so what is game analytics? This is a way of which a kind of way of empower teams and individuals to make data-centric decisions. What do we mean by data-centric decision? This is a way by which you get feedback from people on your products, on your game. Okay, how many users are using the games? How can you improve on it? There are even so many games that they are just over there just to know that, okay, how is the people actually using it? That's why most of the time you get you get when a game is coming out, you get a kind of free version whereby you can play for some times. All these things, they are just trying to like get people's feedback, how many people are able to download it, how many people are able to play it till the finish. Then the recommendation from from different users, what to add and the likes. So, and this became possible with the help of big data. So in the past, the way to actually analyze, we generate a lot of data over the internet. But with the help of big data, the like of Cassandra is a database of which it can take a lot of data whereby people store informations and the likes. So Hadoop is a kind of platform whereby you can analyze data, cleaning of data, you make use of BI, Power BI and the likes. So with the involvement of this kind of technology, it has been really possible for individuals to actually get a feedback from people about their product. And in this scenario, game development is not actually left out. You'll be able to get that, this is what people are saying about your product. And it's not only about data that you're being generated. There are a lot of research that is ongoing about robotics, AI, and the kinds. I'm sure everybody know OpenAI, ChatGPT, what has been done so far. All these things wouldn't have been possible if without the help of analytics. You'll be able to like analyze the data. What are the data that is being fed into the system? For instance, the ChatGPT of a kind. So you pass data across and it gives you information that you actually need. I'm sure everybody is aware of AlphaGo. AlphaGo is a robotic that actually beats a human being. The same thing with IBM's Deep Blue in the game of chess. So all these things is not really more or less like, okay, why people are actually using the game per se, but some people actually use the data, try to analyze the data with the analytics method, analyze the data, then get an insight. It might be to actually feed a robot to perform some kind of task, such that what people normally find it difficult in the past or whatever is more or less like it makes it easier to do nowadays. I've seen like some presentation by some even footballers talking about the fact that they love playing soccer to give them a kind of how to blend them on how to improve on their games. And it's not even only that, even in the game of basketball, there are so many of them that are like, okay, they love gaming in the sense that it improved their improvement in their career. And it is not only this, even children's kids and the likes, even they engage in game to improve their intelligence, might be mathematics or something. But over the time, there are some of these information or the pattern of the gaming that is not really relevant anymore, that needs an improvement. So with the help of data analytics, we'll be able to like get an insight that this is an improvement to make. And it's a two-way thing: improvement to make for the user to enjoy the game, and for the owner of the game itself. The other part is for the owner of the game itself to get a kind of revenue. So nowadays, you see so many online games whereby you can play with different teams all across the world, that the people that you don't even know about. So this is what data analytics has actually helped over the time. That all these things are actually important. How do they save the data of myself playing with another person in the US and the like? So this is what has been done. And according to game developer sites, they are like there is average of 34 games per day. I'm sure this must have been increased by now, of which a lot of people are even developing game because it actually creates much revenue for people. And it doesn't really have to be like maybe like industry kind of a thing. As for me myself, I can actually if I develop a fantastic game that people get to download and play and the likes, you see that okay, it's actually make a lot of money for me, you know. So in the next slide, how do we carry out data analytics? There are actually different methods to do all this data analytics so as to get a kind of insight on what exactly you are looking for. Because it is more of, okay, the current data. The first step is you build a game. These are the current data that people actually have with regards to the game in terms of, oh, this game is good. I would like to play it next time. Oh, there's an improvement. The UI is not okay. I'm sure so many people must have used some applications that you like, oh, I don't like the UI. You understand? So, and they will kind of give a feedback. Before you know it, they will release another version of the application that. So these are the data that is being generated, which actually help developer of the game or the company to like make a insightful decision about their game. So the first part of method of carrying out the analytics is the quantitative description of data. Just like I mentioned before, you describe like, okay, this is what this game is doing. So these are the number of people that are playing it. When you are talking about the quantity, you are talking about the number. Then the exploration. So you look at previous unknown relationship with the data. So how many people actually get my game? How many number of the people downloaded the game compared to the last month? You try to explore all those kind of data. Then inferential. So you test the theory with a sample of data. You like, okay, in this new feature or in this new function, let's include a particular feature in this particular game. You get the data in the sense that, oh, does people really like it? Do they like it? Is this something that they are saying good about? You know, I'm sure we all know some of the features that maybe like WhatsApp has brought that a lot of people have been able to like leverage and make use of, and see what recently happened with a GTB bank application. You understand that people are unable to log in again and the like. So I think be that okay, there is this kind of like incremental improvement. You get data that, oh, these are the things that we need to improve. And from their first perspective, you know, you kind of make use of, oh, you don't just release something at once. You try to improve small by small, a bit by bit in terms of, oh, new features. If it is login that you need to improve on, you improve on the login. So you don't just roll things out just like the GTB bank app are facing today. So predictive in the sense that, okay, we can predict if I release this or if I add these features, maybe like a particular game that will allow children to maybe like engage more on the game, or a particular age group to engage in the game. If you can do a predictive method and says that, okay, if you do this, this is what is going to happen. Then the causal effect is the fact that, okay, what you actually did that makes another thing to happen. Measure what happens to one variable when you change another. So if you change the login, does it make the user to actually download more? You know, and these are actually the examples of when it comes to like analytics aspects. There are different algorithms that one can use to actually carry out this. For descriptive approach, you can use maybe like a distribution. For the exploration, you can use a direct visualization, directionality. Then for the inferential, you can make use of regression model, chi-square. Then predictive, can make use of machine learning, data mining. Then for the causal, you can make use of A/B testing. So going to the next slide. So what are the important questions that you need to ask yourself when you want to when you are going to the direction of analyzing the data, your gaming data, what are the things that you need to have at the back of your mind? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. How many people have installed my game? So if I develop a game now, so I need to find a way to actually track it. How many people are able to install the game? So that's the first question. This will actually help you in daily active users. There's something called DAU. You get to know that, okay, this is the number of users that has been using my game, that has been playing my game. So the next question is, how much is my game generating? So I'm sure the essence of building an application or gaming kind of is to actually get a revenue at the end of the day. You don't want to do something that at the end of the day you don't get anything in return. So with the data analytics, you'll be like, okay, how much revenue, how much are you making at the moment? Okay, what are the things that you need to improve? So then the next one will be how many people are playing the game. Then the next one is how many active players are there in a month. So this will give you a kind of a number to like, oh, this is what you need to do. I'm sure over years, see like so many applications that have gone on extinct, like to go and the likes, just to name a few, you know. So you need to like, okay, update yourself that what are the things. I'm sure that okay, over years the data analytics is just like more of current things that with the help of big data it has make it a current kind of a thing, because it has really helped so many industry to make decisions. That's why so many applications were able to survive this particular current situation, because they were able to gather data and they were able to analyze it to improve their gaming applications. So then the next question will be, who were the new users last month? So if you like, okay, you get the number of users for the last month, then who are the new ones? What is their age range? Where are they from? Which region? There are some games that, okay, I think it is known to Africans in terms of maybe like Ludo or kind of a thing. But you need to consider the fact that, oh, this particular location wise kind of game as well, So those are the things that you need to look at. Okay, what are the new people? Where are they from? I can see that, oh, these people are from Nigeria. No, these people are from US. Where are the people from US actually downloading the game? You see that most of the games from Nigeria now, you see that it's being downloaded from the UK, because a lot of Nigerians are in the UK already. So these are the data that the analytics has been helping making us to be able to actually get an insight about the application. So then you get how often did they return, then what in-app or in-game purchase were made. So which one of the game, like which aspect, were they able to upgrade it? So those are the things that we actually need to check. And to actually help with all these questions, there is this analytics maturity curve, which I got from PwC. So what does it call? It increases as it's talking about the historical and current data. Okay, you've built something, you need to try to track it of the fact that, oh, people are actually using it. So the people that are using it, okay, if you try to improve it, what is it going to be? So it starts from, okay, what happened? This is like descriptive. What are the features on your game that, okay, what happened? Then why did it happen? Why did it, when you are talking about what happened, okay, you notice that people stop downloading your game or people stop playing your game. So that's when you now like, okay, the next step will now be like, okay, why is it that people stop playing my game? So you are trying to diagnose the problem that, oh, people have stopped playing my game. So then the next thing will be like, what is it likely to happen? So a lot of things that can happen when your game has been stopped, the people have stopped playing your game and the likes, is the fact that okay, you lose a lot of money, you need to a lot of revenue in terms of the income and the likes. And the last part will now be like, what should you do about it? Is it that okay, in the current age you need to like improve on the memory loss on the game, because there are some game that memory centric, of which they actually make use of your phone, it gets your phone hot and all those things. So these are the things that will make people not to actually bother about your game. So these are the things that you need to consider. So, and these are the recommendations. So the way to actually improve people downloading your game. So the first one will be like, you can do a kind of push notification. I'm very sure majority of us actually is aware of ads, in which you get a notification when you like, okay, doing something constantly, you buy a product online, before you know it, you get a kind of push notification on your phone that of a new availability of that particular product. So these are the things that the analytics has made to actually possible, because without this you'll be like, oh, you visit a site, they will get your that, oh, you like this particular product, they give you a kind of update, oh, this product is available, or there's even some parts that you get a kind of maybe every month, or maybe like every 3 weeks you buy a product, such for instance like a toothpaste, you know. So there are some sites, if you normally purchase it online, so there are some sites that exactly when it is like that 3 weeks, they'll be like, oh, I feel like you need a new toothpaste. So these are the things that is being applicable to the gaming development as well. You'll be like, oh, so you've been playing a kind of game to improve your memory. So like every day at a particular time, you get a kind of notification that, oh, you need to play this game or something. So consider creating high price game package to increase average revenue per. So what this means is that you give people incentives, like, okay, when you play this game, when you there are so many online games that they kind of pay you for playing that particular game, in the sense that, oh, when you've reached level 2, you'll be able to like get a particular amount of money. Then the last part is the developers, you of course you have to like pay them as well. If you pay them very well, they will have to like give an idea of, oh, this is the way to actually go about it, this is the improvement, these are the things they will be able to give you, a good features, not like just anyhow UI. The engagement of the game will actually make people busy about your product and the like. So thank you very much, everyone. Um, and any questions?
Thank you so much. It's a bulky one. What I would do is, after this presentation, I will have to go through it. That's what I did for last week webinar. Go through it one after the other, see where I can get question, and I will chat to you privately. I
All
think,
right, thank you so
yes,
much.
everyone should do that. It's a great one. Thank you for the slide. So we have 24 minutes left. And then Mr. Maiwa was the one that first presented. I would like him to present again. Why? There are some things I still want to ask him as a question, and we have 24 minutes left. So, Mr. Maiwa, please, can you present once again?
All right, that's fine. Hi, once again, everyone. And again, my name is Maiwa, and I manage operations in B3. B3 is a technical credit collection company. We are in Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya. So I'm basically doing marketing for my company. So feel free to check what B3 is and reach out. So yeah, let's go into it. Uh, okay. So analytics of game development. So my section is going to be more of a commercial and basic part of it, what you need to do, why you need to analyze games, basically. Yeah. So I hope you guys
Please, can you
can.
use slideshow? Can
Oh,
you use
okay,
the
okay, sure.
slideshow? Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Well appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. So definition of game analytics, importance of analytics in game development, goals of game analytics, key metrics, KPIs, and summary. So the keywords: analytics, metrics, KPIs, player retention. Analytics is basically the systemic process of collecting, measuring, analyzing, and interpreting interactions, behaviors to improve design, make user experience enjoyable, and in all to increase revenue. Yeah, so you're going to see more of revenue in my section. So metrics is quantitative measurement used to attract, sorry, used to attract various aspects of the game's performance, player behaviors, and engagement. Metrics provides numerical data for analysis. KPIs are metrics to measure people, just like in your place of work or in your business. We have key performance indicators you use to incentivize or basically to check what they do to track their performance. Player retention is we call so percentage of players who continue to play the game over a specific period of time, right? So I have a specific set of players that keep playing this game or set of people that keeps doing the same thing over and over. So that's what I mean by player retention. Going into it, we have churn rate. Churn rate is on this. What churn rate means basically is if a set of players, if you have 10 people play your game or 10 people walk up to your shop, let's go into the layman meaning. If you have a shop and you have 10 people coming to your shop to buy a bag of rice, these guys keep buying rice monthly. Then after some months, let's say because of this whole economic issue, they are not able to buy the rice again because of it's expensive. They are not able to buy for like 2 or 3 months. Then in the next 4 months, they are now able to buy. So these are what you call churn, like churn rates. In call center terms or in business terms, it means how much or what's the percentage of how you let people go and you also employ people. Engagement metrics is how to access the involvement of the players. Conversion rate is basically what you are doing, your output versus what you are able to get. Okay, this is I'm putting 100% out, and what I'm able to get from my 100% is 50% extra. Monetization metrics related to games revenue generation. You need to measure what you are doing to get more money. Like that is what we need to do. We all, developers, business gurus, CEOs, companies, and everybody, we need to measure what we do to increase our revenue. So introduction, definition of game analytics. Game analytics refers to the systematic process of collecting. First of all, you need to collect, you need to receive, you need to gather your data. So collecting, measuring, analyzing, and interpreting data. So if I have a pool of data now, first of all, for me to have this pool of data, I need to collect this data and store them somewhere, right? I need to measure what I have collected. I need to analyze what I've collected. Then I need to interpret. Data speaks. There's no way anybody will work or will analyze data now and you are not able to identify anything, right? So this is like an automated system whereby as these data are storing, you are building analytics with it, right? It's different from running manual analysis. Like, okay, I have 10 customers coming today, or I have 10 users play my games today, and I want to measure, was this person happy and whatnot. So technology basically has made analytics pretty much easy, whereby you can just run an automated process that will collect your data for you, measure your data for you, and then there's a dashboard that my developers on this call have said earlier on, right? So analyzing, interpreting data related to players' interaction, behaviors within a video game. This data-driven approach allow game developers and publishers to gain insights to engagement, performance, preference, and or user experience. For your products to be better, you need to see what you have done. How do you see what you have done is through analytics. Analytics will show you this set of users were not with what you have done. Okay, so this set of users are not happy with what you have done. Analytics will tell you this set of users that came in between 8 to 9, they are potential returning customers. Analytics will show you different things you want to see. Just like I said, data speaks. So I have attached a screenshot of an analytics we're able to build for the revenue we're able to generate. Yeah. So this is an analysis of week 1 to week 2 to week 52 of last year's revenue. Right. So we can also see that with this analysis, we can tell, right? So we've collected the data, we've measured the data, and now this is analysis. We're able to interpret from what you can see here that within a specific set of week, we have more revenue than the others. And why has this happened? Because we see that the customers or the users that patronizes us are school students. If you check your calendar, you see that from starting week 28 to week 30 thereabouts are holiday periods, because school children goes on holiday from, let's say, July or August to maybe September. So those are the summer periods when school children are available to interact much with games. So analysis has shown us that this is it. We've been able to interpret the data we've collected. We've been able to analyze the data we've collected with this. So going on is, sorry man, I'm having a bit of internet issues. Okay. Apologies about that. Yeah. Also, this involves tracking various KPIs to understand how players interact with game, identify patterns, and make informed decisions to improve the game's design, mechanics, and content. So what you can see here, this screenshot here is a game where from the display, it can tell you, it will give you several options. It has 7 options where you can choose the voice you want to hear all through the game, right? So the game is more of a voice control game. Move left, move right. Example is you are moving left and right, forward and center. But from the analytics we've created here, we are able to gather that most of our users, most of our customers, they prefer listening to female voices. So we can see here that female Joanna voice has the highest peak. Almost all our users have selected the female voices. Number 1 is Joanna, number 2 is Jessica, number 3 is Ivy. So before you play the game, it gives you an option of 7 voices that you want to listen to or that will direct you all through the game. So you are going to click A, B, C, D, and there's also a menu box to scroll down. So with this, we've been able to build an analytics dashboard that shows us this. But I honestly don't know why people don't want male voices. Maybe the female on Discord would be able to explain to us why people are choosing the female voices, or we don't have good voices as guys. Yeah, so that's just on a lighter note. So importance of analytics in game development. What are the importance? What are the benefits? Why are we doing analytics? Why are we analyzing this data to develop our games? It helps developers make data-driven decisions. So I can see that, okay, from the set of users that came between 8 and 9, their feedback was, it was too fast. Example, or it was too slow. or they did not enjoy their time. With this data, we are able to tell our developers that, hey, can you please increase the pace or can you reduce the pace of these things? We are not just going to go and tell the developers with word of mouth. That's why we have analytics. Analytics are able to show us. Data speaks. Data is going to speak that, hey guys, just see for yourself what the data has said, that we need to do better in this thing. And this helps to improve gameplay, player engagement, and overall user experience. We want the users to be happy. We want customers to be happy. It also helps optimize game mechanics, balancing difficulty levels, enhancing content. This is pretty much similar to the first one because developers are going to collect the feedbacks or what the analytics have told us to do. It helps identify potential issues, track player progress, and adjust game elements with others. So the goals of game analytics, the ultimate goals of analytics in game development is to create a better gaming experience. I want to enjoy what I'm doing because I want to go back to it. I also want to make more money as the product owner, so I need to make my users enjoy what they are paying for. They need to see the value of money. Retain users. I want my customers to come back, to drive user satisfaction. If they are not satisfied with what they've done, they are not going to come back. So this thing is intertwined. To create a better gaming experience, first of all, you need to have a good user experience. After you've had a good user experience, I need to retain you as my user, as my customer. Then drive user satisfaction. That's where you see after some games, you see rate these games or just customer feedbacks, basically. Long-term engagement with the game and overall to increase revenue. Whatever you do, you usually consider revenue. You have a product because you want to increase revenue. If you want to increase revenue, your users need to have a better experience. If you want to increase revenue, you want to retain some set of users, returning customers. Just like I gave an example, you have some set of users, you call them customers. Everybody that buys, or if you market, you call, now my customer be this, now my customer be this. Customer, how are you doing? Just because you've been able to retain them, you've been able to create a better user experience. That's why you keep these guys. So in summary, game analytics is a vital part of modern game development, enabling developers to make informed decisions that leads to better games. Just like I gave an example, we have the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 4, and 5. These guys have been able to optimize. If you take a PlayStation 1 now and you switch it on and try to play, trust me, you are not going to enjoy what you're going to play because you've tasted something better. These guys are able to optimize and get better. They've been able to do this because of some analytics. As the world is evolving digitally, they also evolved with it. So these are the things. They have user feedbacks also help them that, oh, I did not enjoy this game and whatnot. So they go. Does anybody have a question? Someone who's not on me.
Well, I'll say your slide is just, I don't know what to say. It's like you said it's towards sales, but it's more than towards sales. There is analytics. Why are they using females for customer services to get people to use the PlayStation? Like, I'm still finding like a way around your slide because it's moving from one dimension to another dimension. Like, it still needs to be like broken down. I don't know.
Yes.
It's
So
no, no.
be,
I'm not complaining about. I'm just saying that it's really like tight and just to be broken down. But I think that's a good one, and the
yeah,
analysis too. Yes, a
yeah.
good one.
So the basics of my slide is analytics to get better, analytics to develop the games. Because I have games and I have game shops, so I've used a real life experience to do this.
Okay, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
really gained from it. Any other question from Mr. Ejiro, Akachuku, Florence, Adekunle, Mayowa? Any other question? Any question, please? Okay, Mr. Joe raised up his hand.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, mine is just it's not mine is not really a question. It's just a comment on all the presentation that we've listened to today. They've all been very educative and insightful. And one of my takeaway here is the fact that data, like one of the presenters said, is the new oil. So once you have the right set of data and you are able to manipulate the data to your advantage, then you'll be able to take data-driven decision that will ultimately benefit you and even the community here at large. So we were looking at analyzing game development. So once you get the right set of data and you are able to mine the data very well, by the time you finish that exercise, when you are taking a decision to say, I am sunsetting this game, I am modifying this game, I am adding this to this game, those decisions will be based on real life scenario because of the kind of data that you have gathered and you have handled. I was work with an organization where before they open a branch, they do some serious data analysis. Before then, they weren't doing. It's just a case of, oh, we don't have a branch in Lekki. Let's go and open a branch there. Oh, we don't have a branch in Ibadan. Let's go and open a branch there. But over time, they discover that you open a branch 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you are going to collect revenue from another branch to come and run that branch. So they say, no, let's even do some work before we go and put a branch there. And once they started that, opening a branch was not a science. It wasn't just wake up and as the spirit leads, you go and open a branch. No. By the time they say they are opening a branch here, within 1 year, that branch is already breaking even and it's able to run itself. So data is very, very critical. The other thing is the analysis of the data. Your capacity and ability to analyze the data very well will determine the kind of output that you will get. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ejiro. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Mayowa. All the presentation were nice. Just that I did not have that full understanding of Mr. Mayowa. And thank you so much, Mr. Ejiro, for explaining that part to me. I stand to be corrected. Mr. Akachiku, thank you. Mr. Adekunle, thank you. Mr. Mayowa, thank you. Mr. Ejiro, thank you. Florence, you did great. The only woman now missed. Morolake Oshodi. Morolake Oshodi. Did I get your name? Hello? Morolake
Morolake.
Oshodi. Thank
Yes.
you. Nice to meet you. Can we see your face if it's possible? This show. Let's.
Actually, I'm driving,
Oh,
so
you're driving. Wow. Okay. So what do you have to say
yes.
concerning this in 1 minute?
Well, it was very insightful. At least I am not a gamer, but at least I have friends, I have brothers that game. So it's just interesting to see that there's more to gaming than just the game itself. The whole process, the whole analytics is nice. It's
Thank
nice
you.
to know.
Thank you. Hope we'll see you next week and everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
so much. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.